everyone, and welcome to the big show. I'm your host, Jerk, and how is everyone doing? Well, I hope as we head into the freaking weekend, which means it is time for some fun, as the anticipation of seeing real-life people in the real-life world edges closer and closer to reality, followed by the inevitable outcome of you realizing you need some alone time. And speaking of loners, Dottie, rebels, that brings us to tonight's guest, a solitary creature who enjoys long strolls along the beach by themselves and watching The Office alone. There are things about this ship you couldn't understand, you wouldn't understand, you shouldn't understand. I don't understand, Jerk, but enough with the tease. Let's bring him out with a big show welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary tier Japanese destroyer and Yude haunting your matches. Give it up for Shimakaze. Folks, you know I am not a destroyer main, and when I do destroy, it tends to be more of a destroyer of destroyer role. But just thinking about the upcoming changes got me all wound up, and I decided I would go have all the fun of chugging a bottle of castor oil and stuffing my face full of pie in Legendary tier, where it could explode out of me in a total torpedo-rama. Now, I unlocked the Shimakaze, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and I've taken it out maybe a grand total of 3 or 4 times. It's hard to say. I can say before this game, I had about 15,000 XP in it. Because 1, legendary tier games are no fun, and 2, the concealment system in this game, as I have said before and will say until I'm blue in the face, no, that's not the castor oil working just yet. The concealment system is borked, a system that turns anyone who can get one of these ships into a great white ninja named Haru.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Before we dive too deep into this game, let me go ahead and put my commander modules up on the big screen. No, your eyes do not deceive you. I am, in fact, using Kurita, paired with a glass of Jersey Von Jovi wine and a side of the preferred seasoning for destroyers, Old Bay. I am also using the shorter range faster torps because why not? At first sunset blush, this may seem a little odd considering everyone knows Tanaka is the only way to go, but I will tell you why. When you are doing a dumb concealment build, you need to make sure you never get caught with your pants down. And in this day and age of such newfangled technologies like radar, I like to always know where everyone is. I've long said twist and track is more important to me winning games over anything else, especially over my torpedoes doing a bit more damage or reloading faster. Now, if you're in the business of farming damage, then Tanaka is going to most likely be your go-to, or maybe Turtle Face if you've got them. But for me, I like Kurita, so deal with it, or leave me a comment telling me what a noob I am down below. On to the match. We're on the map a whole generation of dudes pretended to like to be able to bump uglies. Crash into me, and you would be forgiven for missing it at the beginning, but there is a triple radar division on the red team, 2 Ochkovs, one of whom I used my twist and track on to get a nice torp hit, and a Cleveland who is going to have a very good game on the red team. Now, I would like to give a shout out to the 2 blue battleships who rolled into A with me, and while it didn't work out for them, their service didn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. Just got a little overextended by this overwhelming force of reds that have essentially opted to overload this cap. Now, if you watch my streams, you know that I will usually just stick around and die as I am reading chat, but when playing solo, I don't have such distractions, and as such, I was fully aware that my existence on A cap could be extremely limited if I did not vacate the premises. So, I bailed. And I headed back over to B, and you can see I'm just skirting the edge here. I don't want that GK to know that I'm close, not that it's really going to matter at this point because my wall of skill cannot be ignored. Now that I've sunk my first ship and have the taste for blood, I have my plan made for the rest of this game, barring any unforeseen circumstances. The red team aside from a couple of no good nicks, are all down at A. The blue team has pretty much decided C is theirs, and everything between the two is my domain. And you must be the master of your domain or you're out. To master my domain, I'm going to get rid of those stragglers who can have a crossfire on my team while the majority of the blue ships find a nice rock to get behind, short of our Richelieu, who ends up having a good game too. It's true my job is that of a spotter, but when a blue team sets up shop on one cap and doesn't move out, I always interpret that as them saying, whether intentional or not, "Hey jerk, you think you could handle this one for us?" And seeing as I am a loner and a rebel, when the blue team asks, "What are you rebelling against?" I say, "What have you got?" And I will flip this cap and head for the hills in my Porsche Speedster 23F. When you see a wall of skill like this, I can hear you all screaming in ecstasy from your current locations. Jerk, how did you learn to torp so good? Well, I'll tell you, Steve. You just put your torps on the indicator and launch. Fun fact, I can now insert into this match, now that I have my stats, by and far the ship I have the most torpedo kills in is... Anyone? Anyone? Coming in as runner-up, the Fletcher, and coming in at number 1, Le Fantasque. Now let's just take a few moments to watch these majestic fish do their thing. Isn't this lovely? Bonk. Does anybody have the phone number for Sir David Attenborough? Because I need to know if there is a term for this. I don't recall seeing this nearly as often in PC replay. You know, the great reverse. When numerous ships just decide to drop it in R simultaneously and let the cruise control take over. So since my writers haven't coined a term yet, maybe you all can think of something? There may be some cheese slices in it for you. Now, for legal reasons, I should mention it is more of a cheese-like product that we here call American cheese. There is a term called reverse migration, also known as reverse disorientation, when birds fly in the opposite direction they normally do. That might be fitting since this move is most frequently performed by chickens and jive turkeys. So as I wait for my torpedoes to reload, I prepare another great wall of skill. And watch this. Watch the talent just take over here. I'm going to put one in front should they change direction. One on the marker. And one right in between the two. If seeing that's not worth the price of admission, then I don't know what is. What? The tickets are free? How do we pay the bills? Had I the longer range torps, I wouldn't have needed to get so far out of position, but it's a small price to pay. I just wanted to head back down to A anyway. And in that whole process, our blue Richelieu sank the red Fletcher, and hold on a second. Look at that skill. So our blue Richelieu sank that red Fletcher, and so while there are 2 red radar cruisers left, I am not particularly concerned with anything anymore, and now can continue to stuff everything I see with torpedoes like a cannoli filled with cream? Cannolis sound pretty good right now.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Alright, we've got a straightforward plan. Let's get the A-cap back, maybe our team can sink the Cleveland, and we'll call it a day, go home, say hello to the kids and the wife, have dinner, and fall asleep before the opening credits of Sex and the City reruns finish. But this Massachusetts, they're saying, "Jerk, why don't we hit up happy hour first?" And I'm turning like, I don't know. You know, I sometimes have issues with self-control. Oh, don't worry, jerk. I won't let that happen. Snowflake becomes a blizzard of torpedoes. And my skills are here to pay the bills. So let's see how we do it this time. I'm gonna get some torps on the indicator. Oh, it looks like they're reversing, so let's drop some there. and then halfway in between, and then on it. I bet you're probably seeing a pattern develop right now. I mean, when you have 15 torpedoes, you really have all of your bases covered. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Let's look over. How are these looking? I mean, where are they gonna go? They don't really have any option at this point. Oh, that's looking very solid. Bonk. All right, so what is that? Another dev strike, 150,000 damage. I mean, it's not like anyone can do this, folks. It takes tens of thousands of games of experience to be able to do such high skill maneuvers, right? That's why you have to grind so much to actually get this ship. I mean, it would be ridiculous for anyone to be able to get it just by sitting there wasting enough time, right? A warning now for sensitive viewers. Yeah, I'm firing my guns. This whole time, I thought they were just for show. But it turns out they actually fire. And not just that, they actually do damage too. I'm trying to be real careful here to stay out of the Cleveland's 9-kilometer radar range. So I'm riding right on the edge of that, but still trying to get fires going. And there's one that I think will stick. There's really not much reason for my team to be so cautious right now. Well, I say that in a ship that nobody can see, but I kind of expected that they would be pushing forward a bit more aggressively. Now, they did kill the remaining Ochakov, and our Cleveland did just pick up another kill with one of the red Yamatos. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this smoke because I want to get this 5th kill on this Cleveland because 1, that would be a Kraken, and 2, it would be funny to gun down a Cleveland with the Shimakaze. Alright, so I got another fire on it. That one should stick, so let's get the AP cycling. I don't know that I've ever used AP on the Shima before, so I was very curious to see how this hit. And we will see right here. It doesn't hit. So our Cleveland takes it out. So at this point I was thinking, okay, well now I just got to get this Yamato. And that shouldn't really be a problem, except for the fact that I've got these short-range torps up, and we only have 2 minutes left. So, how do we do this? Well, I'm going to try and just engage this Yamato. You never know what they're thinking. They do fire their rear gun at me. I'm swerving and dodging and swerving. But I'm still just trying to close the distance. Fortunately, I had that speed boost left. But I need to watch how much time is left in the match and how long it will take for my torpedoes to get to where they're going. That's what I'm really trying to look at here, because I know I'm not going to have much time to make this happen. So I'm going to drop that set, and that set I probably could have dropped the 3rd, and now I'm going to start engaging this Yamato and see if we can't get them to turn right. You'll notice their guns are on that side, so I figured, look, if they're going to do it, they're going to turn right to be able to get all their guns on me, and we'll be able to see what happens. It looks like they are. That's going to make them slow down, and I've got, again, my wall of skill headed that way. So at this point, short of them getting blapped by one of our battleships, I knew I had this. And here it is. Kraken 220 in the Shimakaze. Board score, right? 3,445 XP for a very good game. Let's see who else gets credit. A good game by most of the Blues, a very good game by the Red Cleveland. The rest of the Reds, well, I know what you didn't do last summer. And that wraps it up for this one. If you are interested in having private Shimakaze torpedo tutoring lessons, give this video a like. If you are waiting for the gearing torpedo lessons, hit dislike. Questions, comments, migration names, leave them down below. And don't think I forgot about Kaba. You can subscribe to not miss out on that. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll get back out there for another one soon, and we will talk